Hi everyone and welcome to this video. My name is John Jardin from Agilit-e and today I'm going to show you how to set up Node.js using Node Version Manager. And before we kick things off, why do we do this? Why do we use Node Version Manager? There are two primary reasons, and the first is related to an Apple operating system, and that is when you install Node.js and Npm directly on an Apple OS, you have a tendency to face administrative issues, forcing you to have to run sudo commands in terminal whenever you want to do an npm install. This doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen at times. And while a sudo command will give you what you need most of the time, there are scenarios that you are going to face. You're going to experience some frustrating hassles trying to get some Node modules installed. By running Node.js through Node Version Manager, pretty much all these issues are eliminated, giving you a much more seamless environment, allowing you to not have to run sudo commands in order to perform npm installs. So Node Version Manager just really does the job there. The second reason is that you might need to run more than one version of Node.js. There are development platforms out there that are designed around Node.js and might force a specific version to be installed. That version might be a little bit outdated. The last thing you want is to be limited by this. So at least with Node Version Manager, you can have this particular version of Node.js installed for that dev platform and still be able to use the latest version for all your other projects. So let's get started. So here I have High Sierra running in my VM, and I've got Safari opened up to GitHub to a particular project by the name of NVM, which was created by Creationix. And the URL for this is github.com/creationix/NVM. Don't worry about this part. Don't worry about this over here. Right. So what we want to do is we want to run this install script in terminal. But before we do that, we have to first make sure that a bash_profile exists on our environment. And I know that my operating system is fairly new, and nothing that I've done to it yet would have had it create a bash profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a command over here called touch .bash_profile, and that's going to go and just create this file. So this is needed for the install script of Node Version Manager because it's actually going to populate that file. If the bash profile does exist, then great. All it's going to do is it's going to reference it and run it, and update it accordingly. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to copy this command, and in terminal I'm going to run this. It will take a couple of moments to run and install. So I'm going to pause the video. Oh, mind you, sorry, that was that was a lot quicker than what I thought. So all we need to actually do here is we need to close and reopen terminal, and we can test to see if Node Version Manager was installed. And we do that by just saying, nvm --version. There we go. The latest version has been installed. So that's probably the most difficult part of this entire process. Now that we've got Node Version Manager installed, all we can do now is start installing the versions of Node.js that we want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the latest stable version, which I think is 10.14.2. I'm just going to go with that version anyways. So all I'm going to do over here is I'm going to say nvm install v10.14.2. And this will take a few moments to download and install. So I'm going to pause the video over here and just wait for it to finish. Right, so Node.js is finished downloading, and we can actually test to see if Node.js is running. We can just say node-v, and we can see, oh, there's 10.14.2. We can even say npm-v, and there's the latest version, or there's the version of npm that's associated with this version of Node.js. So there's two more things that I'd like to just show you and recommend to you before we close off this video. The first, these are two global modules that I install by default. Anytime I create a Node.js environment, I just get these two installed without asking any questions. The first one is node-gyp, which now more than ever gets used by a lot of the modules that you'll end up installing, whether it be React.js related or Node.js or anything related. There's a lot of Node modules out there that are making use of node-gyp. So what I'll end up doing is I just make sure number one, that it's installed globally so it's accessible to all my projects, and number two, that it's always updated. So I'm going to go here, npm install globally, that's a -g over there, and I'm going to say node-gyp. The other one that I'm going to install is called npm Check Updates. This is a very powerful module because you can run this to determine if any of your modules globally or for a specific project need to be updated. So I'm just going to say npm check -updates. Alright, so let's install these two quickly. And notice that I didn't have to prefix this command with sudo. I do not need administrative privileges to run these installs. There we go. The two modules have been installed successfully. And what I'm going to show you a quick test over here just with npm check updates is the command you run is ncu. So you can either run ncu within the folder of the Node.js project that you're busy working with, and it will then go and check to determine if any of the modules that are there need to be updated. Or you can do ncu-g, which will go and check the global modules to see if there are any new versions. Now in this case, we installed the latest version, so there shouldn't be, otherwise I'd be rather concerned. So you can see over there, oh, guess what? NPM itself. Unbelievable. So npm, there's actually a later version of npm. So you can see over here, it even says, yeah, ncu itself doesn't upgrade the package. All you have to do is actually just run it, run npm install in order to update this to the latest version. But there's ncu in action, and it works great for personal projects as well. So that's it for this video. If you've installed everything correctly, you'll be able to run multiple versions of Node.js, and you are free from a lot of these administrative issues or these privileges on the Mac environments that one usually ends up facing from time to time. So I thank everyone for their time. Cheers for now.